No, it's this morning, every once in a while I get this, because they're like, the CIA in this town, could run you over in the parking lot of Best Buy if you didn't exist. It's like, but my life story is the source of the book of Revelation, and people talk about it all the time and focus on it and so forth. And you invented something to try to act like my life doesn't exist, but obviously my life is more influential and has more importance to human beings and the balance and harmony and the observation and understanding and humility to obey natural laws on this planet than your life does. So what makes you think because you're collecting the evidence of my life, putting it on quantum computing, and you're going to keep it quiet? Got to keep it quiet, kid. Keep it down. So what makes you think that you're going to win? And if you're not going to win, where are you going to flee? Like I told Amy in Sierra Vista, I'm going to live and run to fight to flee another day. And I was like, where are you going to go, Amy? Like I told that guy at the library who was the ex-vat who said I should go to the Philippines. I said, well, why would I want to go to the Philippines and watch poor people be killed in the Philippines when I can do it here in Las Cruces and watch it happen every day on the news and in Juarez, Why would I want to do that? You know, why would I want to go be miserable surviving in the Philippines when I can be perfectly miserable surviving here in Las Cruces? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me or just stand down. I'll take care of it. Right? And I don't think people understand. After watching that conversation between Chuck and Neil and Mr. Martinez, I don't believe they understand. I don't think they're capable. I think they're so addicted to that commercial that they had during the basketball stadium. Don't stop thinking. It's like, why are you thinking? And like that lady, one lady I talked to at the juice aisle thing, she says, I had no idea, or at this chip aisle. And I talked to the guy before. I says, like, ideas invent nuclear weapons and spy equipment to manipulate people with money. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. It's good not to have a lot of ideas. It's good to have no idea then. Okay. It's good, right? Some people don't have the cognitive capacity intellectually and psychologically because there's so much brain damage through tribalism over tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years that they can't, it doesn't, and you sit there and you talk to them and you think, what the fuck? I mean, that was not that hard to understand. And you need to listen because this is happening to you and your daughter right now. And I have no idea. And they walk off and you're like, don't you care about your daughter? How many times have you watched TV shows and movies and Dateline and horrible things happen to people's children because, they have no idea. It's like, it's okay to have no idea. But when someone comes up to you that is eternally faithful and a faithful source of communication and talks to you about reality and how important it is and how, you need to have more than an idea. You need to submit to faith and glory. Okay. Don't think. Okay? Don't think. Do not think. Okay? If you have to try to think your way out of things, if you have to build something, to make something and stuff, to be successful and stuff, don't think. Okay? Don't build the nuclear weapon. Don't build the spy equipment, right? If what you think you attain and learn from learning, if you use it for selfishness, you negate all the wisdom, right? Right? Okay. I had a connection. I watched the sports last night, and the little kid, was his name Danny, from Eastwood, for University of Texas, is having a successful time of running cross country. I've run cross country. I did it to get myself in shape for basketball, which it really helps. Yeah. You go run 8 miles looking at Nicole Gonzalez in her terry cloth shirts. Bob, what are you doing back here? I like the view. Pervert. What do you mean I'm a pervert? Have you seen a much better view than that? I mean, that girl is cute. She's cute. I'm not just looking at her butt. I'm also looking at her black hair. See how it shimmers in the sunlight and it glistens, She's cute. Oh, her sister Little sister, don't you? Yeah, her sister asked me out to Sadie Hawkins dance the year before. But then when the reputation of the drug dealer thug came and I got kicked off the team, she went to the Sadie Hawkins dance with Matt Medina the day of. I said, what time are we going to get? She said, I didn't ask you to dance. I was like, what? I'm going with Matt. Oh, okay. So 2 weeks ago when I was going to be the star of the basketball team, and then when the jocks started all their gossip and got me kicked off, then she wasn't going with me. And I was like, wow, boy, man, monkeys. She's the star, collector of stars. And her little sister was even cuter, Nicole, but they were very similar. Little sister, don't you kiss me, would you? So she didn't even give me the time of day, but I was like, wow, she's so cute. I wonder, but she wouldn't even, much less look at you or talk to you. I was like, oh yeah, I've been there before, done that, And so I was like, what can I say? Yeah, it happens. It happens. So no, I never tried. The only ones I ever tried with Ron Rodriguez, Nicole Esters. That was all in Phoenix. And Cruises, no, I didn't really try. The girls I was interested in couldn't date me because of the tribalism and the bigotry. They were cute. They liked me. I liked them. And I liked Rhonda Jones. I just couldn't go out with Rhonda Jones because she was Michelle's best friend. And that would be wrong. Michelle liked me and wanted to go out with me. She liked me a lot. And her dad wouldn't let her because I was black. And then Rhonda's mom would let me date her. And I was like, no, I just can't do that to Michelle and to Rhonda because they're friends. So I couldn't do it. Did I want to date Rhonda? Oh, hell yeah. She was... Hal Tanner's Mr. Hal Tanner, when Hal Tanner, the star receiver for the football team, she goes, he's a pervert. And I was like, why? I was walking her home after the softball game. She goes, he's a pervert. I said, why is he a pervert? She goes, he was dating my sister and then he wanted to date me. And I was like, no, that's not, he doesn't believe in incest. She said he believes in incest. I said, that's not incest. That's just good taste, right? Like I said, your sister's cute and she's nice, but whoa, you didn't tell me about your little sister. And so, yeah, and so that's what I was basically telling her. It was just, they didn't have a steady thing going. He didn't promise her anything. And then he saw you and thought, well, maybe I might promise her, But he doesn't believe in incest. He just has good taste. But it's not couth to, it happens, though. It's happened with me. In our society, a lot of people just are not very serious about relationships. They just see them as a because of, we credit scores and scholarships and business opportunities and name, image, and likeness and stuff. It's an opportunity. It's not a commitment. It's not, my kids aren't going to be able to be, have opportunities and then get rid of the baby so it doesn't ruin their other chances for more opportunities in life. They get stuck having to pay money for the kids and they just live the Lord's Prayer. Then those opportunities will go, oh, no, I don't think I want to do that. Because I don't want to destroy my capacity to sexually reproduce. I don't want to stop my existence as a human being just to have sex with you, asshole. Well, you got an ego problem, don't you? You must be a rap star or something. Professional athlete, a mega mogul, a super diva, right? So, I'm not going to let a baby get in the way of my greatness. The only way you're going to have any perception of greatness is if you have a baby. One young man told me, I can't have kids. And I don't have any women that I know of in my family and stuff. I said, you do. You just don't know of them. They're there. You didn't get here by osmosis, Jones. So don't worry about it. So there will be someone like you in the future, and he will live the Lord's Prayer and Psalms and Proverbs and stuff. So you just got to understand, and you got to believe. All right. So it's true. And he said, yeah, I get it. I believe you. It's true. Yeah, life's eternal, grace infinite. So, so you just trying to get people to love. And I was connecting to this little girl on the news. She was talking about the guy. Her name's B. Martinez, and she was a college track athlete at Arizona State. So you have to be a pretty good athlete to get a scholarship at ASU. My son had a scholarship at ASU. And the coach got hired at USC or UCLA, and then didn't honor his scholarship because he was kind of a risk, like his dad. He was a risky business, but they were willing to do it to have that kind of talent on the track team. But then at UCLA and USC, you couldn't really honor the scholarship there, and they already had their athletes, and it's a hootie-tootie school for all the All-Americans, right? The Greg Fosters and the Flo Joes and stuff, and so they would be okay, Well, my son could. He said it too. I've done times, Dad, I can outrun Usain Bolt, right? And once you have to get in the building, you got to be able to get in the building. You got to go through the proper channels, and they won't let you just come in off the street and put on stuff and say, "Hey, I'm going to race this guy. He's supposed to be the fastest. I want to show that I can beat him." Yeah, it's not like Joey Steele and Billy the Kid. Billy put his gun away and put away his gun and wished that he could give him the ones he carved upon his own, right? So yeah, fastest man in the world is Usain Bolt. Are you sure about that? I just might have his picture in my wallet, right? In that generation, the fastest man in the world just might have been the fastest man in the world's kid. It happens. And I was thinking about me and Patrick and both of our stress, our agony. Okay, we were both. He was apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We were the defenders of the bullies. No, from the bullies, defenders from the bullied, and it caused us to break out. Where I got it the most was after Mayfield and at Cruces High, because Kaufman was worse than Oliver. And I just got stressed because, I looked at where I should be and what I should be doing. Technically I should have been the starting point guard, because it was my junior year at Cruces. And then I had to sit there. Javier Lujan, who was dating Arta 3, my sister's best friend, he always used to talk shit to me. And I was like, you want to take it in our backyard and have me embarrass the fuck out of you in front of your star swimmer girlfriend? Okay, buddy. Okay, I didn't do that. I would just sit there and he would tell me how great Vince Taylor was and all that. I was like, I could whoop Vince Taylor's ass. Okay, he couldn't guard me and I could guard him. Okay, dribble, yeah. I could contest his shot. He couldn't contest mine. I'm too quick for him. Okay, ask Mike. I got him once off the backboard. After that, no. It's like, well, I know where you're at and I know what you can do. We hadn't played, right? Just because a guy is black and has long arms and 6'6" doesn't mean he can jump real high and he's real quick. Troy Causey, flight 223. I'm going to play in the NBA. No, you ain't going to play in the NBA, right? Because you ain't Mike. Okay. Mike should have played in the NBA, but he went to Cleveland State, not Kentucky or Florida. Yeah. I found out about it from listening to Danny Ainge when me and Patrick went to go see Pocahontas at the whatever thing. He was sitting there having a conversation with this guy. They were talking about Flip Sanders and stuff. They were talking about the contracts and the players union and the players you wanted to keep, but you couldn't keep because of the economics. And they ended up in Europe, and they ended up having decent careers in Europe. But because you had like a 5 or 6 year contract, you had to sign with Gerard Mustafa or whoever you drafted from the big schools, that it literally fucked you in talent to be competitive. And so it really, unless you got it, was very difficult. It's a very difficult business proposition with the way the collective bargaining was and the yada, right? So you eliminate debt and trespass. You live the ways of Psalms and Proverbs. If Gerard Mustafa turns out to be a bust, you just kick him the fuck off the team and you put Mike on the team. And instead of having a 6'9" dud of a power forward, you have a 6'7" swing guard forward that could get Gerard Mustafa in his sleep. But he went to Cleveland State and Gerard Mustafa went to Maryland. And Mike wasn't going to complain if he didn't get a lot of the shots or whatever, stuff like that. He would just run around, set screens, catch loose, he'd get loose balls, put them back in because he was so athletic, stuff. And he was hard to cover and he was hard to guard, And It's interesting, but yeah, it's all these people. Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't have been able to play in the NBA. Socks. Elliot Perry. Yeah, I was way better than he was. He was the same size as me. Okay. Oh yeah. Only I could dunk on Kevin Johnson and Keem Olajuwon at the same time when we were in that big thing and all that adrenaline and that dopamine and the people cheering for me and stuff. And none of them could keep up with me. That's how talented I was as an individual in athletics, right? But I walked away from it because it was vicious, abusive, and the economics are genocidal. And so I decided to focus on family and love and life. And in attempting to do that, corporations like the Vatican and the Quorum of the 12 and the Pentagon were trying to, he's lazy, he's an underachiever, he gets all his talents because of all the lazy people in the world, he won't put in what it takes to be great. I was already better than you that puts in what it takes to be great. And I'm still kicking my ass in your ass in my sleep. Oh yeah. I was born a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. I lived a better basketball player than Michael Jordan, and I will die a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. Okay. And Wilton Norman Chamberlain, yes. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jabba, 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 jabba. I'm a Muslim. Why aren't you standing up for Lord's Prayer? Okay, who's the best basketball player you ever knew? Thank you. Okay. Jesus and Muhammad didn't live in your generation, asshole. Don't say you knew them. Okay. You went to school with George Washington and had PE with Abraham Lincoln too? Are you Obama? Okay. Don't listen to him. He smells of beef and cheese. He's a liar, right? So, no, I was connecting to B, and I like her. I like the little kid. She went to ASU, and she's Jennifer Lopez Barbaluna. She's my type, right? So I can't help but look at her and do like I did with Linda Dutch over during my canvassing. Oh, she reminds me of Miriam. To be young, Oh, if that girl would have asked me out on a date, I would have gone in a New York minute. But she was 20 and you were in your 40s. Yeah, so what? Okay. Like she was 15. Okay. She was 20, I was in my 40s. She's a woman. What if Tashina wanted to be with the other guy because she thought James Remar was superficial and narcissistic? And the other guy was a nice guy. And she liked his first wife. Okay. Not everything's Hollywood or the Mormon church mythological bullshit where you go live in the clouds with Leonardo DiCaprio after you're dead, right? See why I'm the best athlete in the history of your generation? See why Jesus would have whooped your ass in the Colosseum? We choose not to? Well, because forgive, dead, and trespass, love, one, eternal, faithful, peace. We wouldn't have had those kind of things in the Colosseum. We might have had things more like the Olympics with the Greeks, and Jesus would have done them. It's like, God dang, that Jesus is fast. Damn, he can jump. Well, it's the chi and the ki, the energy that runs through his body. That's another thing we got to talk about as far as doing Tai Chi. Okay, Tai Chi and Aikido. Okay. It's the energy of life through eternity running through your body and reminding your body that you need to be healthy and you need to stay alive. Okay. Do you know how to do that? Okay. Now, when you breathe, it's basically what you do is you stand and you breathe, and you do it in a way that tells your body to let go of all the abuse and the stress and relax and remind your body that in your mind and, restore the eternity of the infinite essence of the soul. And you breathe and okay. And then like Suzuki tells me, you can literally do these. You bring your knee up, this knee to this elbow, this knee over here to this elbow. That, back, walk back and forth, back straight, breathing, good balance. Don't do it fast, do it calm and intelligently. Now, get up, stretch the arms up high, reach for the sky if you're reaching for a cherry on a tree or an apple on a limb. Breathe, amen. Stretch, lean, like if you're having to move to grab a child that's falling from a crib. Okay. Reach out and grab them so they don't hurt themselves. Things that you could do when you were young and you were having to provide and all these things were coming at you at once. Do it with gracefulness and breathe in. There you go. Like Patrick with Patrick in the shower. when Steph brought him in. And I slipped, turned, and there was slip, and I just flew in the air, reached, took this hand, grabbed him around his little chest, gently set him on his little bottom, and then the wet body hits the side of the trailer wall, and wham, right behind the toilet. Steffi comes in, and she goes, Earl, what's that? Is Patrick okay? Yeah, he's okay. What happened? What are you doing? I thought there was a leak here under the toilet. I'd slide down here and check it out. Cowboys ain't easy to love and they're harder to hold. Right? So, all you assholes that think your money's real, there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I like Martha Reese and the Vandellas too. Me too. And so calling out around the world. I don't know if there'll be a lot of dancing in the street when we're living in the Lawrenceburg. An idiot looks for any excuse to get drunk. I think a lot of people are going to go home and they're going to do this. Rest. Oh, baby, we're going to be okay. What do you want to do tonight? Get a good night's sleep and snuggle you. And since we're young, we're probably going to get up getting busy and waking the baby's neighbors. Hi, mommy, hi, puppy. Probably so. Okay. But it's going to be different strokes for different folks. We all have the same needs, but we all have different wants. Okay. And so some people are going to want to get up and, maybe do I love the nightlife. I got to boogie. It's like, why? You're only doing that to get away from extortion and exploitation. You're not being exploited or exploited anywhere. Hey, get a good night's sleep. Figure it out in the morning. Okay, guys. I love you, all right, man? Peace out.